After a very, very long time, I'm finally doing something like this. Hello there, everybody. This is CwapTheNintendin here, and welcome to another rendition of Platinum Impressions, in which games are, discussed in a very, very not really organized manner, I suppose. But anyway. Now we're going to be talking about Kirby Triple Deluxe for the Nintendo 3DS, which was released last year, and I believe it's been like well over a year since I got it, actually. Okay, a little bit of history with this. So I got this game, and I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to play it. It's a Kirby, I love Kirby, and then like I play it all the way through to the end of the game, and I loved it. And then like DDD Tour came out and is like, hey, you gotta go through the entire game. You gotta go through the entire game, and you gotta do the thing in which, you play through all the levels all in a row, and it takes like 2 hours. And I was all like, no, I'll play it in quick spurts or whatever, whenever I feel like it. So then like many months pass, and then here we are. After I do all the rest of the stuff, getting me all the way through to 93%. Which I'm actually still trying to get to 100% now, actually. But anyway, Kirby Triple Deluxe. You don't need to hear the story about this one. DDD has been kidnapped, and this thing called the Dream Stalk is now spiraling up all the way up into the sky, and Kirby follows DDD and his kidnapper all the way up to the top of the Dream Stalk. Kirby stops them. The end. That's all you need to know. You don't need to know any story about Kirby at all. All you need to know is that something is going down, and Kirby is, as the adorable murdering little psychopath, saves the day. But really, you're only here, you don't play Kirby games for the story, really. It's all just a little side thing. What you're really here for is the gameplay itself. Which this is probably going to be very short and whatever. So if you know your Kirby, you pretty much know how this one goes and all that stuff, since I haven't really talked about Kirby in Platinum Impressions. I did do a couple of Kirby LPs, but as a refresher, you run, you jump, you suck up enemies, and you copy their abilities to use Kirby's copy abilities and do all that stuff. Which, I haven't necessarily played Return to Dreamland, actually, so these copy abilities that appear in Triple Deluxe are pretty much new for me. Like, I really like Whip Kirby and everything, how he's got a whip and a little Indiana Jones hat and all that stuff. Ninja Kirby is pretty fun too. Although he's got like long range attacks and short range attacks and all that stuff. Leaf Kirby I've actually heard was like pretty damn OP. Especially for stuff like the arena, the true arena and all that stuff. Because, like, he's got a little shield, and he's got a little up B attack that you can do to take out, like, bosses really easily, and enemies as well, so yeah, that's the thing. And also, I really like how they, implemented, like, different attacks for the different copy abilities, which is something I really liked in a Superstar/Superstar Ultra and all that, how it's not just a one attack thing for the copy abilities, it has like many different attacks and all that stuff. So yeah, I really like that. And I actually like to rebuttal my statement about like Sword being my favorite ability. It's actually Hammer, because Hammer is the best ability ever made. It helps me in the true arena, okay? Okay. But I'm trying to think here, what other copy ability was there? Oh yeah, Bell. Actually, there was Bell Kirby. Actually, that's the new one for me. I think this one is the first one to do Bell Kirby. Actually, so basically, like Kirby, does the thing with bells. You press the B attack and all that stuff. His dash attack is just kind of like throws the bells all over the place. I don't know why. Bell Kirby is just really fun to play. And unfortunately, you're not going to be seeing any footage of that, because all I'm able to record with the 3DS phone is my phone and the intro, which I only can record cutscenes, and that's all I recorded. I'm sorry. So all you're really getting to see is the opening and the title screen. Sorry. But yeah, Bell Kirby is really fun. He's really fun for all the times that you get to play as him. But really, that's not the big deal here. The big deal here is, well, Kirby's, like, main new ability is called the Hypernova, which he grabs his big glowing fruit thing, and Kirby just suddenly all glows, like, all rainbow and stuff. He turns, like, Super Saiyan. Actually, he doesn't change Super Saiyan, but he turns all rainbow, so I guess that's cool. And basically what that does is that it basically makes Kirby's, like, inhaling power, like, really powerful, like, seriously. I guess it's kind of like the Ultra abilities in Return to Dreamland, because I've only seen it and I never actually played it. I guess it's kind of like that in that regard, in which, you know, stuff happens, and you get to use that Hypernova ability in various levels, too. Like, it's not just for sucking up enemies and obstacles, but it's also... But they also have Hypernova boss fights, too. Which I think one of the EX stages has that, too. Yeah, one of the EX stages, I think it's like in World 6, has that sort of thing where you fight all the Hypernova boss fights in that regard. Yeah. Stuff. But I guess my favorite thing about the Hypernova ability is, well, the fact that it's so goddamn amusing. It's so amusing. Like, I remember this, like, one like snow level where, you know, Kirby has to, like, use the Hypernova to basically put snowmen back together, and from what I remember of that, it was really adorable. I just remember me going, "Aww," when I saw that. Yeah. And also near the end of the game, I think it's like the second to last level of the game, or the, well, last regular level of the thing before the final boss, is that, you know, you use the Hypernova ability to kill all the mini-bosses, and yeah, just the Wispy Woods copy, like Flowery Woods, it just stands your way and it's like, nope. And Kirby just inhales the thing, and apparently the inhaling is so strong that it even sucks up the life bar. It sucks up the life bar. Oh my god. That was so amusing to me. Serious. I don't know why, but it's too good, man. It's too good. But yeah, I just really love the Hypernova ability, even though it's pretty much a limited ability. It's like really incredibly it's like really amusing to me. It really is. It is. I also really like the boss fights too. The boss fights are actually really good. And you wouldn't think that the deluxe version or the revenge version of Flowery Woods would be one of the harder bosses of the game. Yeah, you always had to, in every Kirby game, you always have to expect a Wispy Woods boss fight and all that stuff. But that boss fight was actually pretty fun and enjoyable. I liked it. There's also, like, various other bosses, too, like, Paintra. I think that's World 2, where, you know, uses paints and all that stuff. Kind of reminds me of that paint roller boss in Kirby's Adventure and Nightmare to Dreamland, because they're the same damn game. What other boss fight? Oh yeah, do you want to know which boss fight can go die in a fire? Pyribbit in World 5, because Pyribbit just basically gets stuck. It's just basically for 75% of the fights, just entirely stuck in the background. What? Especially like the DX version. The DX version can go die in a fire too. I blame the True Arena for this, for my hate and all that stuff. Because when you first fight Pyribbit, you don't really know what to expect. Well, true to that. And what's really kind of annoying about him is, well, again, getting stuck in the background, like, for 75% of the fight, only allowing you to hit him, like, a few times. Yeah, just a few times. It's annoying, and it can go die in a fire, seriously. It can just go die in a fire. But other than that, I think the boss fights are really fun, even though they're, you know, the standard Kirby, even though they're kind of like the standard Kirby formula, in which they don't really have any weak points. All you have to do is just smack them around over and over again until you, bam, you're done. But still, the boss fights are really fun. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but the final boss fight is amazing, and I was really impressed by it. Like, No, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it, Charlie. Don't you dare spoil it. Let them play for yourself. I'm just gonna say this. The way the boss fight is set up, and the atmosphere, and especially the music, which I will talk about later, it is just glorious, and I love it. I love that final boss fight. It was so good. But I guess this is more like me. I think this is more like a for me type of thing, and I think this maybe kind of sort of bothers me and only me and not anyone else. But I didn't necessarily play Return to Dreamland, so this is like sort of a huge leap for me. Like the last Kirby game I fully completed was, well, before this, was Superstar Ultra, and that was years ago on the DS. So this is kind of like a huge shock to me because like the levels are more spaced out and longer. Sort of like Return to Dreamland, because I've seen like a few levels of Return to Dreamland, and yeah, they are long, especially like in the last world, I think. Which, I mean, I'm okay. I'm that type of guy who's like okay with long levels, just so long as they're fun to play. And don't get me wrong, they are fun to play, but I don't know, like these levels are longer. It's kind of like when I played the demo of Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze at Walmart this one time. And I noticed like these levels are really long, and I'm still playing Donkey Kong Country Returns, and those levels are pretty decently long. Like, what would I count as long? Like 5-8 minutes? I don't know. I know there's like one particular level which takes like over 10 minutes if you're going for all the collectibles and everything. Like all the sunstones, all the keychains and stuff. But I don't know, like I don't know, maybe it's just a little nitpick that bothers me and only me. But still, they're fun to play. But I stress level length when it comes to DDD Tour, because after completing story mode, you unlock DDD Tour, which basically means you have to play every single stage in the game. Yes, even the EX ones as DDD. And don't get me wrong, DDD is the glorified archer slash hammer ability thing. But I played those in spurts. Like I mentioned before, I played DDD Tour in spurts. Like, I completed, like, one entire world and then stopped playing for, like, weeks, and then I do another one, and then I just stop. But then, only, like, recently did I decided I might as well do the last two in, like, one go. And then defeated the final bosses. Final boss DX, Shadow DDD, and then Dark Meta Knight, which I believe is from Amazing Mirror. Yes, because the keychain says so. But, yeah, over 2 hours. I can see why this is a glorified Meta Ultra Nightmare, which is the, sort of like the DD Tour mode in, Superstar Ultra. But, yeah. I guess it's kind of like, I guess this game is kind of like, you know, Superstar in that regard, which you have, like, basically a story mode. Like, that's basically the main mode. And then you have the other main mode, DDD Tour. And then you have these two side games, actually. You have these two side games. Those are Kirby Fighters, which is just Kirby Super Smash Bros. And DDD Drum Dash, which is a rhythm-based game in which, you know, DDD bounces on drums and you have to press the A button in time with the rhythm, but you also have to get the backbeat and all that stuff. And if you're going for platinum medals, good luck, because you have to get every single little coin and get the backbeat all straight. I can't really necessarily explain it because I can't record footage of that because I don't have a 3DS capture card. I would do that, but I don't. But, yeah. But what's really interesting about these two modes, actually, is that they are actually full-on minigames in the eShop if you want to buy them. And I do have Kirby Fighters Deluxe on there, too. And I think that's basically the full version of Kirby Fighters, basically. But just remember, it's basically Super Smash Bros. Kirby Edition, in which you pick the forms of Kirby, and then you duke it out. That's basically it. Yep, that's basically it. But I've been hearing from actually one of my friends, actually, that Kirby Triple Deluxe was easy, and yeah, I can kind of see that, but they haven't lived until True Arena, because that's the real mode. Because, you know, True Arena is the mode that debuted in Superstar Ultra Then apparently it's in Return to Dreamland. Now it's in this one. And I don't know, True Arena was always one of my, like, favorite modes because it was so hard, yet it was so fun. You basically fight the deluxe versions of the mini-bosses and boss fights all over again. And then you have the final four, which is Final Boss, Phase 1, DDD, Meta Knight, and then Final Boss Soul. Which, now that I think about it, is actually, Superstar Ultra's Final Four, in which, you know, you have Mass DDD, Wham Bam Jewel, Galactonite, and then Mark Soul. Like, seriously. I'm sensing a pattern in that one, and I think that pattern will continue on in, I had a little small burp right there. In, Return to Dreamland, whenever I get around to that, because now that's out on the eShop, and I want to get that so bad. But, yeah. I guess I can't really comment on the look of Kirby, which, you know, Kirby games always looked pretty good. And this one looks pretty good for the DS2. The model quality is actually pretty sweet, and the backgrounds are pretty good. They're good. They're good. But the music, man, the music. I loved it. I like this game's soundtrack a lot. I think Flora Fields is probably one of my more favorite starting themes in Kirby, which is not Green Greens. Which Green Greens is remixed in this game, but it's not used for the first level of the game. So, yeah, that's a thing. I'm actually going to like the mini-boss theme, which sounds a whole lot different from what you expect from a Kirby game. This one boss theme called Revenge of the Enemy is pretty sweet, now that I more listen to it. But the final boss music, good God, the final boss music is too good. I'll probably tell you what they are. The first phase of the fight is called Dirty and Beauty or Solid Grace. Just look it up. It's amazing. The song is amazing. Moonstruck Blossom is the second phase theme, or Flower, whichever one you want to call it, is the second phase theme, which sounds something like out of Steven Universe. It's with the piano and everything, and it sounds so good. And yeah, you don't really hear a lot of that beautiful, evilly beautiful sounding songs in, like, anything, particularly Kirby. But Kirby's has always had that, you know, feel to it, like, doo-doo-doo, happiest game on earth, and then, wham, it hits you with Nightmare Fuel and evilness and all that stuff. Yeah, it just does. And I think the music is actually pretty showing of that too, because Flora Fields is just sounding all cheerful and whatever, and then you compare it to the True Arena theme, which is remixing this one, and it's so metal. Seriously, it's so metal. Like, seriously. Yeah. But the final phase theme and all is called The World to Win, which by this point you probably heard it in Smash Brothers, because, you know, Dreamland 64 has that song, and I squeed for joy when I heard that theme. And it was too good. I was like, I love this theme. I love Triple Deluxe. Yeah, Triple Deluxe's music is really good. It's really good. Probably get to mention this, but Dirty and Beauty is probably my favorite track in the game. You'll see why when you listen to it. Really, you should. But, I'm trying to think what is wrong. Yeah, like, really the only thing that is kind of, like, off-putting to me is, the fact that, the levels are a bit long, the levels are a bit longer and stuff. Which I'm perfectly fine with, so long as the game is fun to play. I mean, that's kind of sort of how I judged, both versions of Sonic Lost World. And don't get me wrong, the game is fun to play, but I don't know, it feels weird to me. Like as much as I love the Kirby series, I will concede that I haven't played a lot of them. Like, I played Dreamland 1 and 2, Superstar, Adventure / Nightmare in Dreamland, 64, Superstar Ultra, and this one. But strangely enough, it's kind of a big leap to me because, well, Return to Dreamland's levels were long, and this one's are long too, so yeah, I guess that's the only thing that's kind of off-putting to me, but Aside from that, though, I can definitely say that Kirby Triple Deluxe is a great game. And honestly, it could be right up there with Superstar as my favorite. Like, honestly. The new copy abilities that I've witnessed are really useful. And particularly hammers become my new favorite ability. The Hypernova ability is just so goddamn amusing. The music is great, and the fundamentals of Kirby are still there and all that stuff, even after all this time. Like, really? They are? I'm just amazed that, you know, the developers of Kirby, even under, like, different directors and not Sakurai, is like, still keeping Kirby to the side-scrolling format after all this time. It's like, you know, Kirby doesn't need to change. Kirby doesn't need to change. Like, I think Kirby would be, like, the prime example of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And, yeah, playing Kirby Triple Deluxe is just kind of proof of that. Like, Kirby has always been, you know, the side-scrolling platformer. And meanwhile, Mario has been in all these, you know, types of games. Like, he's been in 2D, obviously. He's been in 3D, obviously. But he's also been in sports, RPGs, educational games, and racing games. But Kirby is just like the one series that almost always sticks to the formula. Well, with the exception of the Canvas Curse games and Air Ride. By the way, Air Ride, amazing. Yeah. So, yeah, I really do think that Triple Deluxe is a really good game, and I definitely recommend it for all you Kirby aficionados out there. If not, then definitely pick this one up as your first. Either that or Superstar Ultra. Either or, really. So yeah, if I would Let's Play this game. I am close to 100%ing it, but I don't have a 3DS capture card, so whoops! So, yeah, Triple Deluxe. Get it. It's a fun game. It's a good game. But anyway, that's about it. I'll see you guys on the next edition of Platinum Impressions, which, this next one is number 20. I wonder if I should do, like, a game that everyone doesn't like, but I'll put my 2 cents on it. Maybe Paper Mario Sticker Star? I have that. Or I could wait until I finally get Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. Huh. Decisions. See you guys on the next edition of Platinum Impressions. See ya later. I have to say it twice for dramatic effect. Bye!